Psalm 91. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him I will trust. Surely He shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. He shall cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall take refuge. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor of the destruction that lays waste at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you look and see the reward of the wicked. Because you have made the Lord, who is my refuge, even the Most High, your dwelling place. No evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near you, your dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. You shall tread upon the lion and the cobra, the young lion and the serpent you shall trample underfoot. Because He has set His love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation.
Hi, I'm Roger Stone, and you're watching His Glory TV.
And we want to welcome all of His Glory Nation from east to west to north to south. Welcome to today's Take 5. We have LT, and we know back in the house with us. It's a great timing to have LT back. We'll talk about the Marines, simplify to LT. He's a Marine. We're once a Marine, always a Marine. We'll talk about that and more world events. First, a couple quick announcements, and then we'll bring on LT. First is Kingdom Fuel. This is our go-to, our staple item, a full meal replacement. This isn't just a protein shake. This is a full meal replacement. 25 vitamins and minerals. Great price on that compared to a meal. The next slide, a Big Mac, Chick-fil-A, Whopper. Look at all the grams of fat. One Chick-fil-A. You're only supposed to have 60 grams one day. So that's just one meal, and this is what Kingdom Fuel does. 2 scoops, what I take. I just had mine this morning, $3.80. A lot of people take 1 scoop, $1.90. Make our bodies kingdom temples. That's part of our entire Kingdom line to get us healthy again. Also, we have, you can get the sampler pack as well for $9.99. There it is to taste it. There's recipes that come with it. It's absolutely great way. To me, it tastes like a chocolate shake. We just had the owners of this, Texas Beef. It is the best of the best. Use promo code HisGlory for $20 off. I'm telling you, it is the best steak I've ever had delivered to my door. They do a great job. So make sure that you get Texas Beef. Great stuff. Hamburgers great too. So get it on your first order. Good stuff. Let's support Christian and patriot organizations. That's a part of our Kingdom economy. We have over 40 or 50 in our Kingdom economy now. Also, Luxury for a Cause. Donate your high-end items to support His Glory to get to 1 billion souls. We are accepting high-end bags, jewelry, clothing. If you feel the tug in your heart to donate, go to hisglory.me, donate, or scan the QR code today. Also, update Lindell TV on His Glory. We're broadcasting Lindell TV on His Glory. We're covering the trial this week in Denver. You can watch this broadcast live on News Now, Channel 3, hisglory.me, live News Now. Chris Burgard, our own Chris Burgard, is there today. So I believe we're going to have an update from Chris on the war report. So we'll look to that as nobody else in the media is covering it. I think Lindell TV and His Glory are the only two there covering Mike Lindell's trial. All right, those are all the announcements. It's time for my friend, LT. And we know, LT, how are you, my friend?
Hey, doing good. I'm awful busy, that's for sure. Trying to keep up with everything.
Well, first of all, simplify.
Yeah, pretty amazing turn of events. I just posted earlier on X, just telling folks, showing the Marines have been, 700 heading into California, Los Angeles there. I believe I saw some video of folks leaving 29 Palms, and I just posted, man, if I could just be in the Marine Corps right now, just go back in. I'd love to be with these guys and hang out. It would be great.
Me too. I was thinking the same thing. I was doing a radio show this morning in Connecticut, and they were asking me, "But why bring the Marines in?" And I just went back to my days at Camp Pendleton. And was like, man, I'd love to be there. So, from your perspective, LT, can you explain to the His Glory Nation what your belief, the significance of the Marines coming in?
I'm not up on all the laws and the standards and what have you. But there seems to be, based on all the stuff that I talk about, and when we look at these drops on an intel board that we share all the time, that there has to be a significant invasion of the country in order for the military to be called in. And so, what do we mean by that? I mean, everything we're looking at, of course, folks are on their X probably or on Truth Social or something, and they're watching video clip just like me over and over again, just trying to keep up with everything that's going on. So when you see police cars having rocks thrown at them, when you watch them drop from the bridges, the rocks and tearing up all the police cars and what have you, you have the guys that are grabbing these illegal aliens and bringing them into a basic building, and the building's got fireworks thrown at it and these small, what I call small type of bombs blowing up, and the mayor's not doing anything. The governor's not doing anything. Well, the president has the right to obviously bring in the National Guard. National Guard shows up and they're still causing too much chaos and burning these cities down and causing danger to our citizens. So when we took our oath, we know we took an oath to take care of everything domestic too. If we've got invasion in our country, then we have the ability as Marines to protect our citizens, and that's what's playing out. And I tell you what, it gets me lit up. I'm very, very emotional person, and when I see one guy running around with rocks and throwing them, I'm pretty ticked. Here's some other things. We don't have the intel that the military has on gathering all this information, and we've been digging, pretty deep on who's funding this, because obviously they're having somebody pay for these. There's these high-end, like particular masks that they're using, and they're handing them out like Santa Claus handing out something for Christmas. Where do they get the money for that? How come all of a sudden bricks are showing up in the cities? Why all of a sudden are they going to, on the 14th of June, have a website set up perfectly, ready to share what they're going to do across our nation against King Trump, is what they call him. And so something nefarious is going on. So when I see that popping up, I always wonder, what type of intel does the military have? Are they about to, are they about to feel something, or they sense something's about to hit pretty hard in Los Angeles? We have to send in our military, because guess what? We've got the intel. We know what's going on. And of course, President Trump never projects what they're going to do. He's not going to tell them, hey, we have this intel. We found out that they're going to do the following. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, so President Trump, as you know, you do such a great job on your show, and we know, following the comms. He's been using a certain word that I'm sure you've been watching lately, insurrection, in his truce. That opens up the door for the military to come in. Yeah, the insurrection. It's interesting, the choice of words, and I'm giggling because this mainstream media, and I believe many of them are trained agents to do nothing but propaganda and to twist the minds of the people. They belong to some nefarious folks at the very top of places, what we call the deep state and more. They're getting weeded out, but so many people are wondering, why is it taking so long? They've been in so many days, these folks that President Trump put into leadership. And I said, walk into a building and take over. And then find out where all of these cockroaches are going to scramble. They're going to hide out. And they're hoping that they can last for 3 to 4 years until, somebody else comes in and they can take back over again what they were doing. That's just the way I look at it. They're just kicking back and waiting. But yeah, insurrection, that's a big word. That's something we've been throwing around because of the J6 stuff. Can you explain what it is to be a Marine, how unique it is? Yeah, it's interesting. My sons are home from a college break.
and they actually got a job to work on the base. Okay. And they went to the club, the enlisted club, and they had a chance to enjoy a mess night. And they came back and told me all about it. And I smiled from ear to ear, and I said, guys, that's the Marines. I said, Dad, they were having a blast, and they were doing this and that and the other. And I said, yeah, the Marines work so hard. They PT 5 o'clock in the morning. They work all day and night for so long. And when they get a chance to finally enjoy themselves with other Marines, you get an understanding of why we are so powerful and we love what we do. It's amazing.
Amen. And that's why you say once a Marine, always a Marine for life. And it's that brother bond for forever. We'll be right back.
I'm Jonathan Rose, CEO of Genesis Gold Group. With the uncertainty facing our economy, it is more important than ever to safeguard your wealth and protect your retirement savings. As the national debt grows and the government continues to devalue your hard-earned savings, physical assets like gold and silver can provide stability, security, and peace of mind. Genesis Gold Group helps our clients transfer existing IRAs or other retirement accounts into physical gold and silver, tax and penalty-free. Now is the time to educate yourself on the importance of including gold and silver. Call now to receive our free wealth protection kit and digital dollar defense guide. Prepare yourself with what experts predict will be the most essential asset class of our lifetime. Call now and we'll include our extremely popular silver prepper bar free when you open your account. Add it to your IRA or have it sent to your home. Call Genesis Gold Group today at 800-200-GOLD, only available through Genesis Gold Group.
There's nothing we wouldn't do for our pets. They're like our children. Our friends at Pet Club 24/7 have developed natural products that contain the most potent strain of a mushroom that's been used for thousands of years to help support the immune system. So visit their website today to discover how they're changing the way that pets and their parents are being treated for the better.
All right, we're back with LT, as you know, and we know what he does. He's done such a great job. I've been a big fan of And We Know, and just so happens when we got to know each other, he's a Marine, and it took it to a whole different level.
What we've been really noticing is for many years we were told there would be 12 cities where the National Guard would be called up. And so it's interesting that number's gone up to 17, and that's an interesting number because 17 happens to be the letter Q. Yeah. And so whenever we hear that number, we always wonder, is it a little nod to all of us to let us know we've got everything covered? One of the things when we talk about the Intel board and more, I love that board because it's got Bible verses all over it. And I had this conversation with somebody that didn't really know much about it the other day. And why do you like it so much? I'm like, look, that's what really got me started was when I started reading these things. Number one, it was giving us questions to think about for the first time. People were actually communicating with each other and waking up. And number two, it's got Bible verses. It doesn't have verses from other books. It's from the Word of God. Mm-hmm. And so they got me excited. And of course, when they post numbers like 17 on X or Tom Homan says 17 or, Stephen Miller or anybody says that number, it gets our ears perking up like dogs like, huh, did I just hear I'm going for a walk, and we get pretty excited. So then we start paying attention more to what do you mean cities, which got us to that website. We find a website and it has them organizing this giant thing on June 14th, the same day that we're having the big parade. And the same day that it's President Trump's birthday. And it's very interesting that the parade is going to do what? It's going to bring out all the military assets and have them delivered. And we're getting word, folks are sharing that all of a sudden a lot of the vehicles and stuff that were going to the parade, all of a sudden they might be taking a few here and there to these different cities because they just so happen to be ready to get put out into those other cities. So then it makes me think on another level, did they plan this website and all of these, big cities all at this in the matter of a few weeks? I don't think so. It would take years to put something like this together. So therefore, if it takes years to put it together, then it would take years to get the comms out to us to let us know, relax, we've got this covered. We're going to take care of everything. And then I think President Trump posted the other day to have food and water and stuff ready in your homes. Everybody's like, what? Okay,
Yeah.
that's kind of strange. Why would you tell us that? Well, I think something big's about to go down. Could be wrong. We could be completely off. I try really hard not to give, dates and get people concerned about things, but it's very interesting that that all of a sudden they're bragging about what they're going to do. And we're getting a taste of it now in Los Angeles, New York, and in Texas.
Well, unfortunately, we've been talking about this for a year with a lot of generals coming on His Glory, and it said the Summer of Love 2.0 is exactly the play they want to do. Where do you think this is finally coming to the climax? I feel like we're finally there.
Yeah, I do. The reason being is we were told, hey, the 2 years prior to this date of 2000 and I believe 17, and then look to the next 6 years, I believe. I could have my math wrong. But 2019, I believe. Look to the next 6 years. And it actually correlates with July 9th, 2025. And we were told by President Trump when we were looking at different things that he was sharing that he had put a halt on the tariffs that he was doing to the EU to July 9th. Mm-hmm. So it's like he could have picked July 8th, 7th, 6th, but no. He picks the 9th. And so it's amazing. It's almost like everything comes to a head in June and July. They've had enough. We've got everything ready. Finally, we're watching the arrests happening since he got inaugurated. The arrests have been occurring, really. And they're starting to show that to us one at a time, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And it seems like it's moving its way up to the bigger names. And of course, when the bigger names know that they're about to get arrested and they know something big's coming, they send out their ones that they're paying off. Right now, they're getting paid a lot of money. We're getting reports of $2,000 a week. These protesters are going out. That's why they're so active, because they're getting paid good money. And it's their last hurrah. And these guys, their money's run out. We caught them using USAID money, our own taxpayer money, to do all this. And this is it. Their bank account's going to be empty.
Wow. I was told by some really good sources that the LA, it started not because of ICE, it's something else. They went in and it was a raid, a military raid, and they caught some stuff really bad. Same thing with New York. I don't know if you heard this, Nadler. It wasn't an ICE raid. It was deeper than that. And they're starting to panic. Are you hearing the same thing?
Yeah. I mean, we were told last week, and I remember I deal mostly as a reporter, just looking at communication of everyone and trying to figure this all out. I'm not at that level. I wish I had the general level, but I don't. But when I look at things, it makes me wonder. Just give you just a quick example. The other day, we had a post from the White House of Bryson DeChambeau hitting, golf balls onto the green. And it was really weird because everything that was posted, the time that they posted those pictures, Dan Scavino, you have it matches what we were told is booms are en route, and devices are going to be used, which is using a device like a golf club. Go green, it's on the green, Bryson DeChambeau, and those match the exact wording to the timestamp. And I'm like, they could have picked 8:25, 8:26. No, they picked 8:24. Which matches everything that Bryson DeChambeau is doing. So it's brilliant how they're able to get us information to let us know, look, big week is coming, stand by. And to also, they're with the comms, the way we look at the timestamps and everything, it really makes us feel like they got it covered. Don't worry. It's going to be swift, and we're going to take care of this, and you guys are going to be pleased at the end of this. I mean, even Dan Scavino posted popcorn, Trump grabbing popcorn, And so get your popcorn ready.
So you obviously have done a brilliant job of doing these comms and following it. That's what makes you so popular and as a patriot for this country. But most importantly, love the Lord. What would you say to somebody that doesn't believe that this 17th letter? It's mathematically impossible.
Yeah, very good question. I don't really try too hard to convince people, to believe me or not. This is the information I'm going to give you, and if you care to look at it, you do. If not, no worries. Look at the news. Look at how the media actually does their lies and their projections. I could run the whole show without talking about all of that stuff, but I get worked up and excited because I feel like they are communicating with us. And there's too many coincidences over and over and over again. It seems to come to light that these things that they're using have been true. They were used. It says all the things in the past you're going to see in the future play out in these, and that's the way it's playing out. And if they agree with me, they do. If not, oh well. I'm just going to walk and keep talking until somebody listens.
Yeah, I sent a comm to President Trump a few years ago, and he came out and he confirmed it. It was something to do with a white horse and the president of Zimbabwe. So out of the blue, the president of Zimbabwe is there, and President Trump in the middle of it says, and a white horse. It was mathematically impossible for that to happen.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome.
He was confirming that we were on the right track way back, this was probably 4 years ago.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I love that. I love it.
Yeah. So what do you expect to see next? What should we keep our eyes on?
That's a good question. I mean, I was asked last year, what do we expect for the election, right? Folks were all predicting that the election's not going to happen and Trump's not going to, do blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, look, it's very difficult to project the future and know what's going to happen with all this. What I do look to is what's the norm. The norm is the election's going to take place and we're going to have an election. They're going to make sure that President Trump wins because we're going to make it too big to rig. Another one is like, back in the inauguration, I never thought Biden was going to get inaugurated. He did. Everything went exactly as we were told. Nothing strange and nefarious happened or big in a sense that we would go crazy. This June 14th thing, again, it could be just a normal day. We get through it and there were protests and it just goes smoothly. And maybe behind the scenes, there's all kinds of arrests happening and we don't even see it. And we just have a wonderful parade. My hope is that everything is taken care of. We see mass arrests at big scale. The military takes over and starts removing all of these key players away. And then over the next several months, we start seeing trials. We start wondering what's going on, and we finally have the display of who paid for all of these. President Trump hasn't stopped talking about 2020, so he's going to keep that going. Yep. And we're finally going to get the release of the information piece by piece, enough for us to handle day by day. He doesn't just give it to us all at once, which is really good. Otherwise, we'd go crazy.
Exactly. It's just, it helps open up, keep you going. And I think many people are being awake now to the truth, especially with this, what's going on in LA. We got about a minute 45 left. Let's talk about your book and how they can get it.
I got version 2 behind the microphone. It's shop.andweknow.com, or just go to andweknow.com and I've got my link to the shopping there and you'll find my book. I put the version 2 out. I put all the pictures of my life, my family. They're all on there now. Folks always want to know what I look like. It's nothing great to see, just a short guy with a bald head, and sometimes I wear a hat with hair on it. The book is basically a journey of my life, of everything that I've been through, specifically through the Marine Corps. Every single job I had leading to the podcast of And We Know, how I came to know the Lord, why my faith has been so strong in him, of different things that he put me through. And my favorite chapter in there is My Three Kings, which is about the 3 generals that I talked about in my retirement ceremony, who all followed the Lord. One of them, General Krulak. And I go in detail on those stories and how it impacted me and kept me in for 20 years to serve the Lord strongly, not realizing in the future he'd use me in this capacity. It was very difficult to put together. At the same time, it was easy to type up and get it out. And many people's lives have been touched by it. So I hope folks will check it out.
What's it like to be a Marine and serve the Lord? Is there anything better?
There's nothing better. I look forward to the day that I get to go home. And we sing in our song, that the gates are guarded by the United States Marines. Yep. And I'm just looking forward to going through those gates and getting home.
Yes, that'll be a great homecoming. It's going to be a great time.
Amen.
LT,